Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitpack modded Minecraft 1.10 server. And in today's episode we will be getting into a little bit of Ender IO. That is a specific mod which we're going to use to solve some of the problems we've encountered recently. But first of all, a little building has popped up over here. Let's go check this out. I was over here a second ago and reading the signs really confused me. Scalders basalt, spruce wood, placed in trade hardened stone in exchange chests. Station andesite for items regarding Skalda. It just sounds like completely alien. Then you read it this way. Skalda's trade station. Basalt, hardened stone, andesite, spruce wood in exchange for items placed in chests. Regards, Skalda. I've also just realised that I have more than just andesite. He was asking for andesite in chat recently. 1 stack per place in this chest. 2 stacks per place in this chest. Aha. Now I have andesite, but I also have lots of these other things as well, including spruce. Yeah, that's really cool. I would like to fight a wither at some point, that's for sure. Over here, though, the thing that I'm going to take for now is probably just the ender pearls, as we can already farm those. I kind of like to make my own way into the game, you know what I mean? Like, these enderman heads look amazing, but I want to find them in my own time, so to speak. Otherwise, we can really jump up the tech tree by, you know, killing withers and getting beacons, which is not what you use Never Stars for in modded, as it goes. So, coming back here into the base, you will see a few new fancy machines over here. These are the Ender IO machines, looking pretty cool. In the middle, what we have are some generators, and on the sides of them, we have the sag mill, this one right here, and the alloy smelter. If I actually go and search Ender like this, you will see these things right here. If you want to get into the mods and follow along with me, this is a pretty cool way to start doing some modded stuff that isn't quite so vanilla. And the way you craft these things is actually pretty friendly. You know, basic gears are nice and simple to craft. The main thing is this right here, the machine chassis. So with that, you have to craft a basic capacitor, and that means you need a little bit of copper as well, so it's not too bad, but there is a little bit of a crafting tree there, and so I've been able to craft these things. Now, our generators, this one right here, the Stirling Generator, they simply output power to the machines on either side, so now all of our machines are fully powered, and what I've created is some redstone alloy as well as some pulsating iron. The pulsating iron, really nice, just iron and ender pearls go into our smelter. The redstone alloy, a little bit more tricky because you've got redstone and silicon, and you make the silicon from nether warts, but it's all quite simple stuff. But we need these for conduits, and this right here, binder composite, is made out of... That's interesting, it's not bringing up the recipe for that. Oh, there it is. I must have pressed the wrong key. So sand, gravel and clay. This had me going around through the mines with me excavator trying to pick out some gravel, and with that you can make the binder composite, and then you put it in a furnace and it creates this stuff. So let's take it, because we need to mix those with our alloys to make some pipes, and pipes are what we're going to use to solve a problem we have down below. Right, let's just quickly put these in here. This is more than we need, I know. And we'll make 1 set of those. Excellent, there we go. Insulated redstone conduit. And 1 set of these. And apparently I've done something wrong here. Well, it just needs the nuggets for this one. Let's chuck those in there. There we go. Excellent. Item conduit. Brilliant. Okay, so we have a problem down below, and that is with the way that we are powering these and our item pipes not being able to connect to the vacuum hopper. Oh, and by the way, little information for you. The Torturino doesn't seem to work with this. It'll speed up the first step, but then nothing else happens. And these are ender lilies, by the way, so this is where we grow our ender pearls. So we will just nab that, and it's gone into the vacuum hopper, hasn't it? Ow. Right. Have I? Yeah, I've boxed all of this in. I've forgotten what I'm doing. We need to go down below to check out what's happening below our vacuum hoppers. So this doesn't interact with that mod. This is not going to take items out of the vacuum hopper, which is unfortunate. And also, apparently, the way I powered it, yeah, this block right here is also going to power the vacuum hopper, so it's going to be permanently off by this setup, which we're going to get rid of. And I don't know 100% how this is going to work, but what we should be able to do is put our Torturino on top of the vacuum hopper, set it up so when this thing receives a signal, it will turn off, so it'll be like that. active without signal. When it gets powered, it turns itself off and the torcherino above. Now with these conduits, we should be able to move both items and redstone, but at this point I have never gotten this far before. So let's remove this cable besides it. There you go, there's our first item conduit. I think that needs to point into a chest. Maybe it needs power as well, I just don't know. Let's see if something starts happening. Nothing. I'm not surprised. I need to investigate this a little bit more. But here's the cool thing. Apparently, we can put this in the same area. Do I have to right-click like that? Aha, there we go. So shift right-click will place it over to the side. And just by right-clicking it, we are now combining these two together, I do believe. Yeah, look at that. There's two of them in one space. So now we can power it with a redstone signal, and we can take items out of it at the same time. So that solves both of our problems, but now I've got to learn a little bit more about those and how to interact with them. So 2 or 3 of the farms have been done, and cool little tip for you, these storage crates don't need a space above them to be opened up. Let's see this thing in action. This one actually isn't finished. We've only got 3 mechanical users. I'm sort of limited by how much mining I do to get the items that we need to craft those. And by the way, the torcherino is on 100%. I'm hoping that that won't be as intensive on the server. The other one as well is at 100%, so we hit the switch and this thing will start. It is a little slower than it has been before. It's also not making any sounds of the things being harvested, which I'm sure it did before. Maybe I'm just imagining things. So wiring it up is pretty simple once you put these together. One thing you have to do though is connect the redstone conduit to a piece of redstone or a lever. You can't connect it to a block that you're then going to power, so that's why we have this here. And then you can see that the item one just branches up to the top. So you have to click on this panel to open it up. Over on the side here you have a tab for the different thing you're looking at. So this is inventory and items, and we put it in insert mode. So that means it's going to insert items into this bit right here. Let's go down to the bottom, and this bit is really, really simple. Do I want to go? Yes, I want to go all the way down here. And there you go, there's the other conduits connecting to the vacuum hopper. So again, you click on the panel, and you can see we're in extract mode, and you've also got to make this active without a signal. If we click on this tab over here, we get to see the redstone one, which is pretty cool. So because that requires or doesn't require a redstone signal, when it does receive one, it turns the vacuum hopper off. So that means any items inside of it won't get transferred up here. And also, I think there's one item there you can see is left on that little patch. But do you know what? That doesn't really bother me. Look at this place. Oh yeah, decided to do it up, make it look real cool. Got rid of all of those ugly blocks, the limestone, the marble, there's a few others like that, granite, and replaced it with stones, crackstoned, some of the darker stuff, and put a few ores in there as well. Look at that. Over on this side we've got some gold and some yellorite ore from the big reactors. And it just looks really cool. This is what I'd sort of envisioned, so I'm happy it's turned out well. You can just walk through, and yeah, it looks really cool. And then there'll be another tunnel over here. Next on our list is this little area right here. I'd like to theme it for Ender IO, and to do that we need to probably remove some of the blocks in the floor, add a few things around here. The floor would be the first place that you go to, and the problem is it's level with this right here. But is that really a problem? Some of you are looking at my hotbar and you know what I'm going to do. We're going to use some chisel and bits. But I want to show you that you can craft this right here. We will make 8 of these to begin with. This is really expensive, by the way. This costs a lot, and it feels a little bit of overkill, but the fact that we're going to use some bits will reduce the cost. And you can cycle through these different decoration blocks like this. So we could go for plain. Do any of these look interesting? I'm not really sure. We'll start off with the plain one first of all. And we're going to basically chisel out bits of this right here. So what you can also do with this, which I didn't really investigate when we last checked out this mod, is you can place down bits onto other blocks as well. So right now we've got the equivalent of slabs or stairs here, and what we'll do is place down one of these over here, give it a little bit of a whack. Oh no, it doesn't work on this! Oh, you're kidding me! You're kidding me! Ah. I spent a lot of time crafting that. It feels like wasted time now. This might match it. I'm going to have to spend some more time looking through the textures. Let's just go back to what we were doing there, because this block is compatible. So we can do all of that, and now things get a little bit tricky actually, because I kind of want to fill in all of this space again, and you have to place a block at a time using this, which kind of sucks. Wait a minute, you can scroll through. Aha! Oh. Or not. That's so. Oh dear, no. This is probably a bad idea, isn't it? This doesn't look like it's going to work. There we go. That'll do. That'll do. Have all of the bits. Fill in the space for us. There we go. That's the way that we do it right there. And now we can have both a different texture for below and a different texture for above. But I'm going to have to invest more time into picking out the right texture. And also you'll see the textures don't connect anymore, which is a little bit of a shame, but it still looks cool like that, I think. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to put some time into decorating this area. So an hour goes by, and I'm not too happy with what I've come up with here. There are a lot of blocks in this game, many choices, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. And I spent some time, came up with this, and you know what? It looks pretty good against the Ender IO blocks, but not compared to the rest of the room. As soon as you step away from this space, it looks a little bit odd. And I realised our first build here is probably going to be a little bit of a mix and match of different ideas. Anyway, you may have spotted some extra machines as well. We've got a automatic crafting machine called the Crafter here. To the side of it, the Slice and Spice, as it's known. So in order to get this machine, you had to make that one. But the Crafter right here automatically crafts, and it needs power to do that, which it doesn't have at the moment. You put a bunch of materials into this side, you tell it what to craft in one of these windows, and it will automatically do that and put the items out to the chest on the other side. That's the way that it worked when I last used Ender IO back on the original mod source. Actually, I have played modded before, and in order to craft that, you need the Slice and Spice. So over here we can see somewhere, there it is, the Crafter, and it's a little bit of a rabbit hole, not a bad one, but you need to make this cool looking thing, the Z Logic controller, and then you need the Slice and Spice, and then you need all of this and that. And lucky for me, I picked up a couple of zombie head and skeleton heads along the way. The Solarium was one of these other things that I'd already done earlier, Soul Sand and Gold, that had been taken care of. So now we've got a couple of extra machines, and we've got this, which I think it's alright, isn't it? So tidying up the ground floor, trying to make things look complete. I've sorted out our nether portal room down here, and for some decorations I thought we'd have some window sills, put some flower pots on them, except you can't do that because this is a chiseled block and it won't go on top of that, which is unfortunate. So then I decided to look through and see if there are any decorational looking blocks. What we have right here is called Cooking for Dummies, and it comes with 4 accessories which I think look pretty cool. Putting them into this room, they might not look so great. We've got a sink. It's a little bit on the small side. We've got a fridge. That kind of works. We've got an oven, and we also got a toaster. Let's put the... Can the toaster go on this? Yes, it can, because it's flexible and reasonable, unlike the flower pot. Actually, I want to move that over here. I wonder if these are actually functional as well. Yeah, it looks like they are. You've got an oven, a fridge. Wow, you can see inside the oven when you open it up. And a sink over here just splashing some water about. And what about the toaster? Can we put bread in there? Like vanilla bread, and then it will turn into toast. They are some nice little additions just to make this feel a little bit more lived in, so to speak. And there it is. We've got our own little kitchen. Right, so we're going to be getting rid of this. I need this space for something else. I've been thinking about how we're going to power our Ender IO machines. We need a steady supply of something. That something could be coal, or maybe charcoal. Yeah, I was thinking a charcoal generator might be a great way to make sure we always have enough fuel and enough energy with these setups. And so if you use a regular furnace and you think vanilla Minecraft hoppers and all of that, you've got to build some sort of system for getting in the logs at the top and then shuffling out the charcoal and then putting it back in so it can be the fuel as well. And that creates a pretty big and complex system. So I started looking at this with some different blocks, the Ender IO blocks, and quite quickly this thing got compacted down. Let's grab the 2 blocks we're going to need. It'll be a Stirling Generator and an Alloy Smelter. Now I thought that we were going to end up using pipes at some point, and it turns out that we won't be using pipes at all. This ends up being a lot simpler than you might think. So with some, when I say pipes by the way, I'm talking about the Ender IO conduits. We can connect these together to transfer items, and with messing around with that I was reminded that you have this little system right here for configuring how the blocks connect with one another. So what we can do is put a chest to the side of it. This is going to be our input. We're going to put in some spruce wood, and we're going to put this thing into furnace only mode. There you go. And then we're going to choose the side here as the input by right clicking on it. So it's going to pull blocks from that chest into these top spaces right here. and you can see it's a little bit color coded, so that's terrific. But this machine needs some power, so let's go and put what little charcoal we have into the one on this side. So now that's going to be smelted and turned into charcoal. You can probably guess what the next step is going to be. It is for this side over here to push the output through to the machine next to it. So it's currently being powered by that charcoal, and now it just made some more and it put it into the other side. And this is going to have a positive result. We're going to get more charcoal over time and we're going to generate power. So this thing is now powering itself, and that's great. But then what we want to do is we want to take some of that output and keep it for our own, because we want to move some of that charcoal into the other machines, right? Whenever they're low, we want to be able to just grab a batch out of here. And this is where I quite like the solution I came up with. So if we are to push into this chest, push our output there, up there, then it seems to prioritize going up into a chest as opposed to going into this side. So you could even go a step further and say, well, we will try and pull from this side over here into that slot, but it doesn't seem to work. It always prioritizes sending it up here, although it looks like it just pulled from the side and took it in. Maybe it works differently based on what direction it's placed. So anyway, while I was figuring this out, I was like, how are we going to get it to like share the output that goes in here? I want to split it evenly, and I accidentally placed a chest like this, and it was like a eureka moment. That does exactly what we want. So rather than pulling from that side, we're going to cancel that now. What we will do, and we don't want to disable it either, because then I think it blocks the input, is we're going to pull from up above. So now this thing works perfectly. It's going to take all the charcoal it can out of this chest, which means this thing will always be topped up, and once it's got a stack in there, it's going to continue going forever. So right now it's just going through the spruce wood. And this little idea was actually inspired by what we did in Mod Source, where we made a farm that used one of these axes to chop down trees. Let's grab some spruce saplings and go outside. So there used to be an enchantment for tinkers that would automatically smelt the things that you mined. And what happens when you smelt a tree is you get charcoal, right? Well, unfortunately, they've removed that, which is why I've had this silky jewel in, because I foolishly crafted the wrong thing early and then scratched my head as I couldn't figure out what was the right thing. Let's plop down the torturino. Let's do an experiment together. Hi, do you help? I have to remove something from my hand. Yes, you help. That's amazing. Or that could have been coincidence. I think it wasn't. So we can come out here, we can chop down a tree very easily and get lots and lots of wood. Unfortunately, before we could have smelted it all automatically, so we wouldn't have needed this next step. But anyway, now we've got over a stack of spruce wood again to chuck in there. But also, that torturino affects machines as well, so let's go back in and plop it down next to our little charcoal factory. So this chest is the input, in goes the spruce wood. It's going to start smelting it. Only doing 2 at a time. And didn't it? Oh, it didn't leave some behind. Let's actually quickly find out if it can do 3 at a time. So in goes the fuel, I guess you could call it that. Yes, it'll do 3 at a time. That's terrific. And then this thing will slowly fill up. So let's put down the torturino next to it. Let's make the area a little bigger just so it covers all of these things. And we won't do this all the time, but it's now going to affect the rate of these machines. And look at how fast it is smelting. That's pretty cool. That's pretty overpowered. But what I saw was that the power here started to fill up after this one had powered up. I think now the rate of this stuff isn't being calculated properly. Or maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe it was just filling up a lot slower. Yeah, I think I got that wrong. Anyway, there you go. That's it. This thing is now filled up on this side, and this chest will start to fill up, and it will power itself forever. So all we've got to do to make fuel is just chop down some trees outside. Looks like I forgot to do the chopping part. Ooh, a butterfly. Look over there. Yes, sometimes you'll see little cocoons on the bottom side of leaf blocks on trees. They will eventually hatch into a butterfly, which is pretty cool. I've been distracted though, and I think I forgot to show you this. Can you see this over here? We've got another one of those down here as well. We're using chisel and bits to just solve bits where things look a little bit odd. And it still kind of looks a little bit odd from the side, but you don't have the glowstone texture on the side there. And also here it probably needs a little bit of correcting as well. But if we go up to the top, we have another problem, which is that the floor is made out of half slabs. But luckily with chisel and bits, we can make quarter blocks. So once again, we can keep this going. As you can see, just place them like that and then place the glowstone on top. It is ever so cool. And of course that means we'll see birch from below, and from up here we will see our glowstone. Alright, so back to the Ender IO tech we go. And you'll see that I'm making some electrical steel over here. We need that to craft something. Aha, check it out. I've done most of the work already. And there we go. We've got ourselves a powered spawner. If we combine with a broken spawner in an anvil, then whatever that spawner type is for, we can use the power that we're creating with this machine right here out of charcoal to then spawn mobs, which we can use to make a farm. So if you go out into the world, do some exploring, find a typical mob spawner and break it, it drops a broken one. You don't have to do anything special there. So we need to go exploring in order to do the last part of that. But I wanted to show you the crafting a little bit because at first I thought that's pretty simple, and there's a couple of things that I need to show you. So first of all, this right here, this coal, you can actually get by putting coal in a sag mill. I said coal, I mean coal dust. And it doesn't show up on this bit right here, so that's for you to know. That's how you make the electrical steel that we have there. Then we've made one of these before. I had another zombie head. That's actually my last one, so we were just about able to make that. And then these things right here, this is where you start to go down the tunnel a little bit, because emeralds, yeah, we got them, but then we need vibrant alloys. And how do we make those? Well, we do it like this, with energetic alloy and ender pearls, and an energetic alloy is this, and you can see you get lost a little bit, but luckily for me, that Torturino came in very useful here. I like to plop it down next to the machines and just speed up the whole process. So I actually put all of that stuff together pretty quickly, which was cool. And what's the last thing that we need to do? Oh no, we already took it out of the crafting station. Okay, right, so now we've got to go exploring and find ourselves a spawner. Aha, there it is. Abandoned Mineshaft. Probably the best way to get a spawner, although this is going to be a cave spider spawner. I believe it stays the same. You can change it, but that's a lot further down the tech line or tree. So it's a lot more expensive is what I'm saying. And I got a full inventory of goodies right here. Check out my mining backpack. Got some diamonds, and yeah, all of that stuff's filled up. These are actually really helpful. I should probably make some more of the digging ones so we can pick up more stuff. Let's throw some cobblestone away here so that we can make sure we will pick up the spawner, because it's going to drop on the ground, of course. Right, bam, there it goes. Down there. I haven't been down here yet. Please be no baddies down here. It looks like there's actually another one, and I don't have blocks on my hotbar. Quickly now, let's fill it. Oh, don't come through here. I've been poisoned enough today. There you go, poisoned through the wall. I was about to say I got poisoned when the spider was the other side of the room. It looked like something extra dropped with that, by the way. Spawner shards. That's from actually additions, and then broken spawner from Ender IO. So it looks like there's two mods that work with this. What does this one do then? Oh, that looks quite interesting. All I'm going to say is, wow, I've just gone around the corner and we found one of those underground areas again. This one looks massive, and there are cave spider spawners right in the middle of it. I'm gonna torch this place up. It's probably not very good to look at right now with YouTube's compression, so let's get the area sort of conquered, put down some torches. I reckon it's going to look real interesting. Oh, I was about to say, I was hoping that was the last of them. These spiders, man, they keep dropping in from somewhere. Like, is there another spawner hidden here? This is it. I think this is a really cool feature, so yeah, well, what you see is what you get. Underground grass, underground trees. There's also more of it to see over in this direction, where there is a ravine, and the ravine has trees as well. Actually, it's just this bit right here that sort of intersected it. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, we are up to... Oh, I should have 3 by now. Perhaps I missed the drops from the one over here that I broke. I'm a little bit worried. I've just noticed that there are these spawners right here. Skeleton you can get a spawner for. With a skeleton you can't. Chicken and Enderman. Why are those ones in the menu? It's a little bit worrying, really. Where did I put the spawner? Is it in here? That looks like it. We've also got to make an anvil and put these together. So yeah, if it's not in that menu, does that mean we can't actually use a spider spawner one for it? A cave spider spawner one even. Let's put the anvil down over here. And how much XP does this cost is what I'd like to know. 16. Can you stack those together? Nope. And here we go. So now I can place this down next to a power source, and I think it might start spawning some spiders. Capture, spawn, what's this? This might be the death of me. I've got a Torturino here. I put in a capacitor. This thing is going to go extra fast, although it's still quite slow. Oh my god, it made a pack of 4. Quick, remove the Torturino. There's too many of them. Oh, good thing they can't do too much damage to me. Although there is 3 of them all at once here. Right, let's get rid of the last one. Okay, so some of this and some of that, we can make a soul vial. If we right click on a mob, we can capture its essence, and then if we were to right click on, you know, the ground or something, it would put that mob back. So it's very much like a golden lasso which we got over here, except it's for Ender IO. And when you put one of these in with some essence into the capture bit, oh, what's it going to do now then? Interesting. Cave spider. Oh no, we've taken it out. Okay, I thought the idea was that you put one in and yeah, actually that's probably not what I wanted it to do. I thought it was going to change the spawner to a different type, but we put an empty one in, so yeah, I'm really not sure what's going on. Well, it's obvious that I need to do a little bit more research, but we are on our way to being able to farm some mobs using Ender IO, which means we can get all sorts of drops and goodies and XP as well, which will help us get to the next level. I'm thinking about mending on our tools and on our armor, and of course we need a good XP farm for that, so just giving you an idea of what sort of direction we're heading in at the moment. But anyway, that's it from me this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you for the support, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.